This is the confessions of a ex-Nuwaubian. Now I'm gonna pick up where I left off in part 8. My friend, the one that I was staying with in Orlando, he understood the reason why I had to leave. You know, from one man to the next. It was like I told him, you know, you're picking me up and you're dropping me off like I'm a little boy. You have other responsibilities and things that you have to do. You have to take care of your family. And I just felt as though that I was a burden on him, even though he didn't feel that way. Because, I mean, taking heed, wherever I go, with the exception of my father at that time, wherever I go, people don't tell me to get out. I had to actually leave. You know, because I'm a good guy when it comes to, you know, being someone's roommate or staying over somebody's house. You know, I clean up, I cook, you know, I do things that make a say, why are you leaving? You know, so my friend, man, we was mad cool, you know, during that time. You know, he knew that I went through those things, you know, as far as dealing with Nuwaubu, and I was still a follower and shit, and that I was going from one place to the next. The same friend that let me stay with him, he was the same one that dropped me off in Raleigh the first time when I left my ex-girlfriend. So he understood everything that I was going through, and living with him for that amount of time in Orlando, it was peaceful. You know, we would get up and, you know, he would go to work and he'll drop me off, and I'll, you know, hustle and do what I had to do, and then he'll pick me back up, and then we would go to the grocery store, buy some food, cook, eat and shit, and look at the Dave Chappelle show. And then after that, we would play. Like, I had a PlayStation, well, at the time a PS2. He had the Xbox. So I had games, he had games, and we just used to bug out, you know what I'm saying? Get a couple of beers and shit, and we would bug out, we would chill. So it was kind of like, you know, losing your best friend again, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to go. So I packed my shit up, you know, and I went back to Raleigh. Now some may say, well, why did you go back to Raleigh? You know, you could have went back to New York. No, I couldn't have, because had I went back to New York, I would have bumped heads with my father. Eventually, we would have got in a fight. You see, one thing that I realized about men, 2 lions can't live in the same household, same house. It's just that plain and simple. 2 alpha males can't live in the same house together. It can't work. It just can't work. Especially when you're living with that man, and that man is paying the bills in that house. He lays down the law. So I couldn't stay there. You know, I could have went to Brooklyn and stayed with my family in the Thompson's projects and shit, but I definitely didn't want to do that. So the only choice that I had was to go back to Raleigh. You know, it was a little bit more simpler. You know, I could have just, you know, go back out there and hustle and do what I had to do and just make a come up just like that, you know. So I went back to Raleigh. I knew a female friend. She picked me up and shit, and I stayed at these weekly hotels. Now it was this dude that I failed to mention that me and Maceo were friends with. The dude, I'll call him B. He was from Brooklyn. It's a young dude, you know what I'm saying? He used to come to the Chinese food restaurant. So the spot that where I was at, it was a Chinese food restaurant and a beauty supply store and a rent center, a Subway, a grocery store, a McDonald's, a Burger King, all of the hood shit that, you know, have to they purchase and shit like that and buy, you know. So people used to, you know, frequently come back and forth, especially Fridays and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So he would come through, right? So we got to be cool, you know, the young cat, and we eventually put him on. But this was like egotistical, you know what I'm saying? He just thought that he was the shit, and in reality, he really didn't know what the fuck he was doing, you know. But at the end of the day, I got back up with him. And him and Maceo had a fallout. So what he did, B, he took me to all of the little corner stores that was in the hood where Maceo, H, and the W would wholesale CDs to them. He took me to all of those stores and I started undercutting them. So if they were selling CDs wholesale for $3, I was selling for $2.50. So my come up was like that because I started undercutting them, and them niggas like H to W, Maceo, they was like, yo, what the is going on? What's happening? Like, it's a going around, and they undercutting me. Little do they know, till this day, it was me. It was me. And I mean, I made some good money. You know what I'm saying? All I would have to do is every week drop off. So one store I dropped off like 150. Now I'm wholesaling, so I'm getting the cash. You know what I'm saying? It's not consignment and no shit like that. Then another store wanted like 100. So I was dropping off like 300 CDs at 3 different stores and shit like that. Three to like 450, right? And then guess what? My man D, you remember D, the one that was buying CDs from me? He got out of jail. So he started back buying CDs from me again. Now, I know some of y'all may be like, well, what happened to the movies, man? Well, see, the movies got hot, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing of it is with CDs, if you had mixed CDs, blend CDs and shit like that, you really didn't get in a lot of trouble. Now, if you had whole albums, like a Jay-Z album or some shit like that, you can get into trouble. Like, prime example, in Raleigh, North Carolina, they had this one damn flea market. Nothing but Africans. And they used to raid that shit like every month or some shit, to the point where they just stopped it. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nothing but Africans all in that flea market selling bootleg movies, CDs, and all the rest of that shit. So I was doing that. Then I went back to the spot because Maceo wasn't there anymore. I went back to the spot and I started selling CDs, just CDs, and I was making money. So I would have Dirty South mixtapes, I would have Up North mixtapes, I would have reggaeton, I would have reggae, I would have juke joint music, old school music, what else? What else? Blend CDs, just all types of fucking music, right? And B, he started selling movies up there, and everything was going, pretty good, So one day B decides to catch this epiphany, which was the dumbest decision that I ever. I just couldn't believe this dumbass decision like that. He decided he wanted to go back to college, right? But he wanted to go back to college in Brooklyn. I forgot the name of the fucking college, man. I know y'all know the college. I forgot the name of it. It's a well-known technical college in Brooklyn. But he wanted to go to that college. Now, I'm sitting here saying to him, you're gonna... So he was living in Raleigh. Him and his family was living in Raleigh. He had a son. You are actually going to get on a plane and fly over 300 colleges just to go to this one college in Brooklyn? That was just the dumbest decision that I ever heard in my life. He's flying over Duke, Central, NC State, Hampton, Howard. The list goes on of colleges just to go to this technical school in Brooklyn. So he was like, yo man, could you watch the spot? Could you sell the movies for me? I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do that while I'm out here selling CDs and shit like that. My spot wasn't hot just yet. So I'm doing that, and everything is going fine. Now, I forgot my PlayStation in Florida, right? So my man, I told him, can he send it to me? Now, I'm staying in a weekly hotel, so of course I can't get the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I get him to send it to my sister. My sister lives in Durham, North Carolina, which is about 20-30 minutes away from Raleigh. So my sister gets it, and I tell her to meet me halfway, which is in Cary, North Carolina. So I go to Cary, North Carolina, and it's this airport. I think it's called an airport mall or some shit. It's right by the airport, RDU, airport. I drive down there. Now, taking heed, you know I ain't got no license. And I'm driving somebody else's car. I drive down there to get the PS2. The CDs and the DVDs are in the trunk of the car. I drive to get the PS2. I pick it up from my sister, and I'm telling her it's this spot because she wants to get an apartment out in Raleigh. I'm telling her it's this spot out, it's apartments that I want to get into, and it's pretty cheap. So I was like, yo, I'll take you to it. Just follow me. She said, yo, hold on, I gotta go get some gas. She went to go get the gas. She's pumping the gas, and I went to pump some gas too. So I opened the back of the trunk to give her a CD. I'm like, yo, man, you need any music or something? She's like, yeah, so I gave her like 2 or 3 CDs. I ain't charging them shit like that. So as I'm giving her the CDs, this punk ass cop drives by. I didn't pay no attention to him. I seen him at the corner of my eye, but I didn't pay no attention to him because it's like I ain't doing shit. I just gave her some CDs. So we pull out. She's behind me. The cop flashes the lights, throws the lights up, right? Because we about to get on the highway. I'm like, oh shit. The cop is behind her. Now I'm saying to myself, she has a license, so she's straight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it moving, and I'm gonna get off at the next exit and just call her and ask if she alright. Because I'm riding dirty. My license is straight revoked. So the cop gets mad at her, like he's waving at her, like move the fuck out of the way. She moves, and he gets behind me and stops me. Comes up to the car. I let the off the rip. Ain't no use of lying to the cops, because he's gonna run my shit. He's gonna run my shit anyway. It doesn't even make a difference. So he comes up to the car and he's like, yo, let me see your license. I was like, yo, I ain't got no license. That plain and simple. Let me see your ID. Show him the ID. He leaves, comes back, and he's like, yo, there's no insurance on the car. Now, I know good and goddamn well there's some insurance on the car, because the person that I borrowed the car from is straight legit. Straight legit. Like, the car is damn near brand new. She had insurance on the car. He says, well, is there anything in the car? I already know the fucking deal. I've been down this road already. My license has been revoked, and it's gotten suspended. In Cary and Raleigh, they take your ass to jail. Is that plain and simple? I've been to jail quite a few times for my license being up. So I know the damn deal. Is there anything in the car? No, there's nothing in the car. Can we search it? No. He gets me out of the car. He gets his superior, whatever, they roll up, and next thing you know, they get the permission from whomever, the court judge or whatever, to search the fucking car. So they searching the car. They open up the trunk, lo and behold, it's the fucking movies and the CDs there. Now, I got about fucking 500 CDs. This B had about... So what we used to do, I came up with a good idea. I told him, yo, instead of printing up the fucking covers, instead of putting the DVDs in DVD cases and shit like that, that's a whole waste of money. You buying cases, you gotta buy the inkjets to print up covers. I said, yo, print up a cover piece and put it in an album, a portfolio book, and have your customers just go through the portfolio book, and then whatever they want, you put the DVDs and CD slits, paper slits that you can get $10 for like 100. No, not even 10. Like you could get it 100 for like $4.99. So he had about 600. No, it wasn't 600. It was like about 300, something like that. He had them all in slits, right? They pick them up. So now my sister's on the side. They got me handcuffed on the side. And I'm like, yo, the female that I bought the car from was at the hotel room. Now taking heed, the hotel room, I had 3 burners, not guns, 3 burners like CD burners. I had all my CDs. I had all of that shit. Everything. My copy machine. I had my whole operation in the goddamn hotel, right? So they come up to me and they like, yo, what's this? I'm like, it's CDs. And they're like, well, is it yours or what? I'm like, yo, they're CDs, man. I'm not, like right now, first and foremost, you never talk to the cops. You never do it. Never. So I should have never said shit. Nothing. But I wasn't thinking. I was just like, yo, that's all I got to say, right? So they're going through it. And I had a period of time to tell my sister, yo, call, I'm going to call her Keisha. Call Keisha and let her know what the f- going on. Tell her to get everything out of that goddamn hotel room. Everything, right? So she calls her, right? These started searching me and shit. They find the key, the card to the hotel room. They call the front desk and they find the goddamn where I'm at. Like the door number, all that shit where I'm staying at. So they're on their way to the hotel. They take me to the carry station, started questioning me shit, right? You would think that I was a drug dealer. I'm not lying. So this opens up a book and says, look at this. This is a felony right here. You have these CDs and these DVDs. This is a goddamn felony. We could lock you up under the jail. Now you're gonna tell me where you get this stuff from. And I'm dead ass serious. That's how he's talking to me. I'm like, yo, can I use the bathroom? I went to go use the bathroom. I come back. So he's on the phone with the officers. I'm not lying to y'all. I swear to God, I'm not lying to y'all. Let me tell you something. I'll never live in Metro Atlanta again because it's racist as. If I move, I'm gonna move out of the state of Georgia, and if I don't, I'm gonna move into Atlanta, the city, because Metro Atlanta is some racist. But let me tell you some other place that's racist. Raleigh, North Carolina, and Cary. Period. They will pull your black ass over for nothing. For nothing. I'm telling you. That plain and simple. I'm sorry for shitting on Raleigh like that. I know some viewers that live in Raleigh. I'm sorry, but if you keep it real, you know good and well that Raleigh PD is not a game. So they had Raleigh PD and Cary PD, right? They're talking. So I'm listening, and they're saying it's a female that's in the lobby with a big bag. And I'm like, oh shit. Cause I know that's her. That's Keisha. So she winds up getting in the cab, right? And leaving. They go upstairs and they're searching the place, right? So then the cop calls back and says, yo, stop that girl. Stop her from getting in that. She already left, right? So then I don't know how they wind up finding the cab that Keisha was in and told the cab driver to turn around and come back. Cab driver didn't listen. They dropped off, he dropped off Keisha at a secret location or whatever. So all my shit was with her. They go through the shit. I go to jail. Keisha I get in touch with another dude that I know. I tell him to, How did I? Oh, hold on. Now I'm trying to think. I think Keisha had my bank card or something. I know I bonded myself out with my own money. They came and they gave the cash to the bail's bondsman, but I know they took the money out of my account. It was like $600 or something like that to get me out. So I get out. I go to the hotel room. The shit, they ravaged. They tore up the whole fucking place. They threw my clothes on the floor and all the rest of that shit. Like, I'm not lying. They treated me like I was a drug dealer. And then Keisha was telling me when she was in the lobby, she was panicking. She was scared as shit. She said when she got in that cab, she said it was like 10 squad cars all in the parking lot. All for some bootleg movies and CDs. So, make long story short, I tell B. B tells me, well, you didn't have no business with the DVDs in the car in the first place. You wasn't going to the spot. I said, if I was on the way to the spot and they fucking pulled me over, would you had said that then? Pissed me off. I said, yo, because I was telling him, yo, can you at least pay for half of the lawyer? Period. You know what I'm saying? If you would have got caught and you would have went down for that shit, I would have done the same thing for you. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay it, right? So, come lawyer time, he ain't pay it. But he kept on going back and forth to the college, and he still wanted me to sell the movies. He burnt some new ones up and gave me the movies to sell. So, I guess y'all thinking I'm a sucker, right? No. That was a sucker. You want to know why? Because I skimmed off the top, and he paid for the lawyer in full. And it cost, the lawyer cost like $400, $500 something dollars. Period. And yo, B, if you looking at this right now and you upset, I was just upset like you are right now, because you should have done the honorable thing and paid half for it. But yeah, I took your I did. That plain and simple. When you came back, those times you was coming back, and I was like, yo, man, the spot was, I only made $50 for you. I actually made $150, and I took $100 from you. That plain and simple. So, after that shit got resolved, because what happened is I went to the to court, and what they did is the police officers tried to combine the DVDs and the CDs together in order for the count to go up so it can be a felony. My lawyer peeped that shit out and it got thrown out. So those charges got dropped. The license revoked shit got dropped. All that shit got dropped. Period. I went about my merry way. So I eventually got, got a crib or whatever have you. I'm still doing my thing or whatever, and lo and behold, I'm looking at BET one day, and it said Dr. York was sentenced to 135 years. And my heart dropped. And I was like, God damn.